Live from Main Street, USA, your hosts, Nicholas and Kiley.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm a little tired.
Yeah. I have some big things happening in my life and I'm stressed.
Yeah.
You're going to Disney this weekend.
I'm going to Disney tomorrow.
You're going to Disney tomorrow.
I know. I'm very excited.
He's riding Tiana's without me.
Listen.
You have no excuses.
I can't really excuse it. You did Moana without me? That's kind of...
You were there.
I was there, but I wasn't invited.
I did not have any more passes.
I
also, it wasn't my passes.
I know. Well, that's about all I got in terms of defense, so I gotta use what I gotta use.
Anyway.
Hey
guys. It's Kiley.
And Nicholas.
And we are live from Main Street, USA. How are you guys doing? Are you doing well? Alright, guys. So last episode, we talked about our D23 predictions. And this week, Nick, do you want to tell them what our episode is today?
We're going to be just kind of talking about what got announced at D23.
Yeah. So remind them when D23 was.
The 10th of August, which we're recording this about.
Yep, it was the 9th and 10th of August.
Yeah. The park panel was on the 10th, I guess I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Which we're doing this a week later.
Yes, it is August 15th.
Oh, not even a full week.
Not even a full week.
When push comes to shove, I'm actually happy we waited. I mean, maybe not this long, but if we didn't wait, we wouldn't have gotten the new, some of the concept art and stuff like that came out after.
I know, yeah. It came out in 2 or 3 days after D23 and the parks announcements and everything. I really kind of want to go ahead and I know this is not going to be fun for the viewers to have to wait until the very last to cover the Walt Disney World parks information, but I think it might be a little bit of suspense.
Yeah.
You think?
Plus, if you compare what got announced, very much so, Walt Disney World got the majority of the announcements.
Yeah, this is true. I will say D23 this year was probably the biggest D23 we've had concerning the Walt Disney World parks. Just in several years, I want to say.
I would say since Galaxy's Edge's announcement, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I think Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land both got announced in the same day.
Yeah.
And I think this was a similar caliber to that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is if you got 2 Toy Story Lands announced and then Galaxy's Edge. I would say it's even bigger.
Yeah. Do you want to do the cruises?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there wasn't much there anyway.
It wasn't a whole lot. It's going to be quick and easy. So we had 4 new cruise ships joining the fleet that got announced, and those are going to be from the years 2027 to 2031.
God, it's crazy to think 2030.
I know, that's so crazy to think. That's not even...
an unobtainably, far away.
I don't think about 2030s.
The cruise announcements, it was just that, and then 2 new shows.
So the Disney Treasure will offer the Tale of Moana as their signature show. We're mainly talking about the shows.
Yeah.
Concerning...
That's all they really announced.
Yeah, that's all that really got announced. So there was the Disney Treasure, and then there was also Disney Destiny that will offer Hercules as their signature show as well. Which, this is a little bit of a spoiler for the entertainment panel episode. Hercules was one of the announcements that got told.
It's going to be running on the London East End,
mm-hmm.
which is kind of the British version of Broadway, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then there was one kind of cool announcement, which you can see in the concept art. If you, I guess we should say, on our Instagram, we're going to have all the concept arts that got released.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys want to follow along, we'll try and put them in order of how we talk about them.
And also, I plan on putting it on X. And if you have not already checked, on our Instagram, I have put in a Linktree link, which should link all of our social medias and all of our just important links that might be talked about in the podcast as well.
So, in the one for the Moana show, they show a puppet, which is going to be a 15-foot puppet, which is the biggest Disney's ever done, of, what's her name?
It's Taka.
Taka, the lava monster lady from Moana.
Because it was Taka, and then it's Tafiti.
Yeah. So that was really all the cruise announcements.
Yeah,
and then,
there wasn't a whole lot.
They also did a weird amount. They did like 10 minutes on Fortnite stuff, which was really weird.
Yeah, I'll let Nick cover that because I was a little checked out at that point.
I don't really think there's much to cover. I mean, it's not really relevant to our channel, but also, it was just a weird pace breaker, like in the middle of.
Yeah, I think it was kind of. I will say this isn't really talking about what was talked about. I don't think I like how they hopped around.
I don't
from
either.
thing to thing, just because I like structure.
Yeah.
And also for the note taking aspect, it was really hard to follow.
Yeah. Well, I think it's not quite off topic or on topic, but like talking about the D23, they really did a lot of weirds. Like there was songs in between announcements and stuff, which I get from the point of view of like it being a show and stuff, but it was just not.
It was really just all over the place.
Yeah. And there were parts I liked. I really liked the part with Deadpool coming out.
Oh my gosh.
It was really.
Yes.
It didn't service the D23 at all, but unlike a lot of the other stuff, it was funny and entertaining.
Yes, it was.
And was it Like a Prayer or Bye 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 that was performed?
I don't know.
One of the two was performed, and he was dancing around. They also acknowledged a lot of like Disney memes, which was really weird to see Disney acknowledging stuff like #Fix the Yeti, and they also had a part where Deadpool had drawn himself as Dr. Seeker.
Yeah. So on our main socials, we did a couple thing, and Nick did Dr. Seeker and Deadpool, and I did Deadpool as Tinkerbell because that's just who we are.
Yeah. I mean, it's again a little off topic, but those drawings were really, really fun.
Yeah.
And I also love there was one with him and Wolverine eating off of a trash can, and like they were acknowledging niche Disney things that I didn't even know Disney understood that people like.
Well, I think a lot of their YouTubers and their content creators are on the Disney Parks team, like the Disney Parks social media team, and I think the social media aspect kind of, they clue them in.
It's very annoying to me that Disney knows how much people want that Yeti repaired, and they still, I mean, they can't
do it.
It's hard to do. Do you know the whole thing about that?
Yeah.
Like the Yeti is literally like structurally integral, and they'd have to tear apart the mountain to fix it.
Yeah, well, I think it takes a lot out of the ride, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to go ahead and start talking about the international parks first. Okay, so starting off with Tokyo, we are not sure that anything got announced for Tokyo. Not to our knowledge. We did join a live stream like halfway through.
We missed about an hour, I think.
We may have missed it, but to our knowledge, nothing got announced for Tokyo. Moving on to Hong Kong and Shanghai Disney.
They both got Spider-Man rides. They're both getting different Spider-Man rides, but we kind of just grouped it together because they're both
sort of the same thing.
We have like one image to go off of for each. One of them, the Shanghai one, is going to be a roller coaster, so that's a little exciting. And the one in Hong Kong is going to have Doc Ock in it, which is really interesting.
Yep, and that one is a ride and not a coaster.
Yeah, which I find that one really fascinating because Doc Ock, I mean, he is in the MCU, but it's not like an MCU original character, so I'm wondering if it's going to be like the same one that was in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, or if it's going to be an original.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be like MCU makes a Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Like their own version.
Which would be cool. It would be weird for that to be.
Yeah, I think it would be weird, but I also think it would be very, very interesting to see how they portray Doc Ock looking like, and like if it's going to be comic accurate, if they're going to spice it up at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense because No Way Home, they can't really adapt Doc Ock in the MCU anymore.
Yeah.
Because Peter would just know, oh, your name's Otto Octavius. That's a little suspicious.
Anyway, so moving on to Paris. Moving on to Paris. Something that's really cool that I had never really put any thought into being a ride. Lion King is going to be an attraction / land. So how Lion King is going to be set up is it's going to be a flume ride, kind of like Splash Mountain. it basically looks like Splash Mountain.
It's definitely like giving off a Splash Mountain vibe.
Definitely. But we're going to put some concept art up on our Instagram that I really hope that you look at. The flume ride, like the drop, is going to be coming out of Pride Rock. That's going to be kind of like the land's centerpiece based on the concept art anyway. And also in Paris as well, the World of Frozen in Disney's Adventure World is also going to be opening in 2026. So it's going to be a Frozen themed land, and we've already seen concept art. I know that it's opening in 2026, or that's what we've been told.
I do have something interesting to talk about with the Lion King attraction.
Yeah.
It's really weird. So if you look at the concept art, it uses the live action Lion King designs for the characters. But then the model they released in, like, on the D23 show floor was the animated version of Simba on the thing. So I'm wondering if maybe it changed part of the way through development and they went from live action to animated designs.
Maybe, because, I mean, it could just be me, but I prefer the animated version.
I don't think anyone disagrees with you. I think live action, despite being, this is a true thing, by the way, audience, you can look this up, the highest grossing animated movie of all time. Live action Lion King.
My Lord.
It is actually very much not liked. People do not like live action Lion King.
I honestly could really take it or leave it. Actually, I could leave it. I hate to talk negatively about it, but that was probably one of my least favorite live action films.
One of the most disappointing moments of my entire life.
Yeah.
Is going on to Spotify the day that the soundtrack released and turning on Be Prepared from the live action version of Lion King. Do you know what
I do not remember.
Yeah, that's part of the issue. It's super forgettable. He doesn't sing. He just says the lyrics.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He just says the lyrics and jumps around on rocks. There's no like green fire or anything. It's so lame.
I honestly really did block out Lion King out of my mind just because it was not.
Well, live action Lion King removes a lot of the emotion from characters. Like, you can't see it in their face or anything.
I think Disney animators back then did, I mean, and still now, but I think in the old Disney animation style, they did a really, really good job of capturing emotion.
Yeah. I will say, from what we've seen, Mufasa does seem to be a little bit better.
Yeah,
in that regard. Agree. I think there's a little bit more emotion on the characters' faces, at least.
Yeah.
And by the way, the Lion King ride, one more thing I did see a little research in, it's going to be an adaptation of the movie, not like Bayou Adventure. It's going to actually just tell the story of the movie, from what it seems.
Awesome. I like that. I mean,
I do too.
I like a continuation of a story. But also you have people going to Disney who may have never seen a Disney movie in their life.
Yeah.
And while I know that sounds stupid for me to say, but it does happen. And there's some people who just don't grow up with that.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Also, that Be Prepared scene is going to look so cool.
I know. I hope that's the lift hill.
All right. So next up is Disneyland. Our neighbors to the west.
Very good. Very good. Guys, he knows his directions.
I just barely passed history in 8th grade, and
sweetheart, directions is geography.
I was about to get there.
Okay.
The reason I just barely passed history is because geography, I failed every single test that we had relating to it, and I got 100 on every test that was relating to history. So it balanced out. So, anyway,
guys, guess what? Avatar Land is coming to DCA.
Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
So, this is not the first time we've heard of this, but the art that they released is incredible.
Awesome.
And the ride that they're getting seems to be a play on Shanghai's version of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, just
if I had to guess.
The ride is going to be themed around Way of Water, which is the second movie, and then the third installment of the Avatar series, which is going to be Fire and Ash. Yeah. So it's going to be a combination of those.
And we didn't really get an opening date of anything. I was talking to Kylie. I think it's going to be about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, we've estimated that it's probably going to be about 4 or 5 years. I think it wasn't it 6?
Yes.
It was 6 for Disney World from whenever they talked about it to.
We looked further into it, and they didn't even start construction until like 2015, and then
and it was announced in 2012.
So, yeah. So next up is Coco.
Yes, Coco is going to be in Disney California Adventure as well.
It's going to be based on Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, so I think they're trying to go for that that vibe that I think those rides have. They both just. I don't know if they're gonna.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be able to pull that off.
It's gonna be weird, especially with an existing property.
I think it's gonna have the element of Pirates, the water element of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
And Haunted Mansion, kind of the afterlife, but more so. I don't know how they're gonna pull the Haunted Mansion in.
Well, so I was kind of thinking about it, and I hope what they mean is like in that vibe that Haunted Mansion and Pirates have, where everything feels so grand and huge around you.
Yeah, and
like Pirates especially, those rooms are massive.
I know, yeah.
And like Haunted Mansion, not as much, but they're so.
But the backstage tours, of Haunted Mansion, you'd be surprised just how big it is.
That is true. Well, yeah, the last room in Haunted Mansion, that's a massive room.
That is a massive, massive room. Also, for Coco, the construction will start in 2026.
Which on that, they didn't really give a lot of like actual days for when things are going to release.
We just got a lot of concept art, it's not. They also talked about, I will say, they did talk about at the beginning of the panel that there will be no blue sky concept art pieces. Yeah. So everything that was shown concept art wise is concrete detail and will be happening and has already started happening.
Yeah.
So I really like that too, because last year there was a lot of controversy and a lot of talk about how it was only blue sky concepts, and everybody was just kind of teed off about that. Yeah. So I really think it's good that they gave us like concrete details to be excited about too.
Like, this is all stuff to be excited about. And I will say, they really stuck to that whenever they did announce the dinosaur replacement with Encanto and Indiana Jones. I mean, they really stuck to that. That's exactly what we're getting.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we have more detail on it now, and they very much changed the plans for Beyond Thunder Mountain, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird how much has changed from that plan and how little has changed from that plan. Like, in the end,
I would have never guessed one of the things.
That is true, and we'll get there. But I did actually call it. I called it as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Alright, so moving on to Tiana's Bayou Adventure in Disneyland. We finally got an opening date of November 15th. And we also got some concept art to go along with it. And we'll add that to our Instagram as well.
It is crazy that they are, like... I mean, I know that it's not that crazy that they're getting it later. But it's crazy they're just now getting it released.
I know.
Opening day for that.
That's crazy. Also, I really want that restaurant in Disney World.
Yeah. I'm shocked that didn't happen.
I know, I am too.
So next up is Walt Disney: A Magical Life. This is going to be a show that takes place in the Main Street Opera House, and it's going to be a rotating show with great moments of Mr. Lincoln. So it's not like a replacement. They're just going to both be happening. I don't know if it's going to be one after another. Or
I misunderstood that.
Yeah, so it's a rotating show. They're both going to be still being done.
Really?
Yeah. But what they did say is whenever Walt's Magical Life first opens, for those initial crowds, like the initial couple of weeks, they're going to do just the Walt show.
Oh.
But eventually it's going to go into rotation.
So can you expand on that a little bit? Because I misunderstood that. So how is it going to be like set up?
I have no idea, honestly. I didn't quite understand it, but from me looking it up, people were just saying that it's a rotating show. If I had to guess, maybe it could work like Beauty and the Beast and the Paris show in the Paris Pavilion in Epcot, where they do the Paris show for the first couple hours of the park being open and then do the Beauty and the Beast for the rest of the day.
You know, I've never actually been to that attraction before.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that was there.
I think that's how that works, if I remember correctly.
Wow. Okay. The more you know.
And lastly, Disney California's biggest announcement, I would probably say, is Avengers Campus is going to be doubling in size.
Yep.
With 2 new attractions. One of them already announced, now titled Avengers Infinity Defense, which this is a ride that got announced, I want to say, 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Wow.
And it's about the entire multiverse coming to fight a alternate version of Thanos. It looks really cool. I'm really excited to be jealous about it.
We got some concept art. We got several concept art images, and then we also didn't we get a model of a ride vehicle?
Yes, there was a model of ride vehicle and a standee of King Thanos as well.
And we also got a Stark Flight Lab. I am so excited about this because Robert Downey Jr. is going to be reprising his role from
the MCU.
The MCU, yes. Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
They also kind of teased that other heroes might show up in some way. Basically, from the way the ride looks, it's kind of interesting. You're going to be held by a metal bar from behind, and then it's going to lift you up and try and replicate the flight patterns of different superheroes. It looks a lot like one of the Harry Potter rides. I don't remember the name, but in the ride, you're in this it's 4 seats, and the mechanism has your car from behind, and it tries to replicate the fact you flying on a broom by floating
Is Disney
around.
Copying Universal?
Yes, and probably in a worse way, because that's one of the best rides at Universal. It'll be fun.
It's fine.
I don't think that ride's going to be anything major, but I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be good, fun thing to do over and over. Even if it's not I guess the novelty will wear off eventually.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a fun ride that you just go back for the ride itself, I guess.
I think it'll also definitely help that it's got different characters, different flight patterns.
Yeah.
Because, if there's, 6 different options or something, that's, 6...
Well, you know how, Guardians, we try to go and get different songs. It'll be like that, too, I think.
I'm curious what 6 heroes they're going to pick for the flight patterns.
I don't know. Okay. Are you ready to start Walt Disney World?
Yeah, we should probably do that.
Yeah. Guys, you're going to crap your pants.
So, everywhere else got good announcements, I would say. But
that's fine.
Well, I don't know.
Well, maybe not everybody.
Yeah, maybe not Tokyo.
Sorry, Tokyo.
But Disney World definitely got the best announcements, I think, because
Dude,
Epic
we have
Universe,
a whole page for...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's probably because Epic Universe is coming out, so Disney wants to compete, and I think they competing.
They definitely competing.
Also, we had an interesting conversation with my mom about Epic Universe, and construction was going really, really fast for a while there, but apparently if you look at photos now, it really seems to be slowing down. Which we
Disney just hired all of those people back.
Yeah, we were just theorizing maybe Disney just hired all the people back.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're going to do Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and then finally Magic Kingdom, because we have to save the best for last. But anyway, starting with Epcot, we are getting a Test Track reimagining, which is set to debut in 2025. This version will feature show scenes about advancements in technology and also customization and personalization. We're thinking the custom build cars again.
Yeah, so we kind of knew everything except that last part of personalization and customization, which is really interesting because I thought that the custom cars part of Test Track was going away for sure.
I know,
thought there was
same.
no way that was coming back.
I thought it was too time consuming. I think they might try to find a better way to execute it.
Yeah.
Which will be good.
Or they might keep it exactly the same. That's my ideal thing. I actually really love that aspect of Test Track. And I love that. I love the comparing scores at the very end with everyone else who rides it.
Whenever it works.
It usually works.
Not really.
I've never had issues with it.
I've had lots of issues with it.
Well, that's a shame right there.
Thank you for your compassion. So we are also getting a new Epcot lounge. Nick and I will definitely be visiting because guess what? We're 21.
Yeah.
And also we just have to check it out for the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to write it off as a business expense.
Perfect. It's based on Spaceship Earth, and I have no real idea where it's going to go. Again,
I don't know. We've
we
speculated,
talked to my
but
mom, and she said that there's like a business meeting place nearby the ball that would have like good firework viewing and stuff. But she said it's like only really used for like corporate things, so she thinks maybe that. But I don't know. I don't know where else. We were saying maybe it replaces the little games in the ball, but that's the exits for the ride.
Yeah.
And you don't really want people walking through your fancy
you could soundproof
lounge.
it, but I don't really think they would do that.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, do you remember like at the back of the ball where Walt sits? There's kind of like, if you look right behind Walt, there's
windows there.
There looks like windows there. So I wonder
and
if
that would be perfect viewing of the fireworks.
I wonder if that's going to be it.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see.
It looks kind of futuristic too.
Ooh, nice transition. We'll have to see in 2025.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to Animal Kingdom. So construction will start for new areas this year. We don't know when this year, but I'm gonna assume that it's already started and they're gonna continue.
Yeah. So
heavily.
We talked about this. So the Tropical America area in Animal Kingdom, featuring the Encanto ride, the Indiana Jones ride, and a carousel. It's supposed to take over Dino Land, and they said that construction starts this year, but they said that it's going to take time. Like, we're not going to shut it all down at once. Dinosaur is going to stay open a little bit later,
so they're going to do it in sections.
Yeah,
is basically how they worded it.
Which me and Kylie were talking. We think most of Dino Land, except Dinosaur, is probably going to close all at once.
So I'll also kind of, like, we talked about this yesterday. So if you look at, or if you've frequented Animal Kingdom and Dino Land, there are two entrances to Dino Land. There is kind of like a side entrance. If you look at Dino Land, like a map of it, or if you frequent it, whenever you get inside of Dino Land, there's basically kind of two paths you can take. There's one where you go to like the carnival area, and then you go to like the Dino Bites, I think.
Yeah.
It's a different name, but I can't remember.
The quick service.
Yeah, the quick service area, and then there's also like Dinosaur. So there's kind of like two entrances. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna block off the carnival area, or like the tacky tourist area.
Yeah.
And then keep the trail going to Dinosaur open.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna remain closed for a bit until they have made good progress on that area. Because Disney's not opposed to having part of the land open without the rest of it. So I think we're going to get like part of Pueblo Esperanza, which, I don't know, I guess we should start calling it that. Although it's weird to call it that because we don't really call Africa, we call the Africa area Africa, and East Asia?
Just Asia.
Just Asia?
Just Asia.
It's Africa, Asia. Is it just those two? And now Tropical America?
Africa, Asia. I think so.
It's weird how there's only... It's weird how there's only like two. Well, I mean, there's three now, but I don't know. It's weird that there's like these crazy theming of these continents, I guess. There's only like two, and now South America. Anyway.
It's projected to open in 2027. And we also got some concept art, especially for the Encanto Dark Ride, and also the wood-carved carousel. So the Encanto Dark Ride, it is set in Casita, and everything kind of coming alive, and Casita might be pulling some furniture.
So they said that the ride vehicles are going to be furniture, which I know what that means. It just means that they're going to look like furniture, but I am curious what that means in terms of, like, do you think it's going to be a trackless ride, or do you think it's going to be...
I think it's going to be a trackless ride, because that kind of ruins the effect whenever you see tracks.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's going to be an Omnimover. Like, Omnimovers are like Haunted Mansion, Ariel, like maybe not the clamshell design, but I think the idea of like the cars are always moving. I think it's just going to be always...
I don't think I agree, because Disney has proven that they can do really cool things with their ride vehicles, and I don't think they want to take a step back from that quality.
I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I'm just saying that because I love trackless rides. Trackless rides are my favorite. I just don't know if it makes sense for this type of ride, I guess.
How?
Because Kanto's really popular and they're going to need high capacity, which I know trackless vehicles do fine, but like, I don't know. I'm part of me wonders if they're going to have not learned their lesson is the right thing, because it would be a step back, but they're going to want to make higher capacity so you don't have the issues like they have with Rise of Resistance and other rides with capacity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think they have much of an issue with capacity, though.
Well, we wouldn't have virtual queue if they didn't. Star Wars has one of the lowest, I could be wrong on this, but I think it has one of the lowest like amount of people you can put through in an hour of any Disney ride. And same for Runaway Railway, to a lesser extent, because I think you can get more people going at Runaway Railway at the same time.
I don't know. We'll see. So we also got a wood-carved carousel announcement. We're thinking maybe that's where it's going to be put where Triceratops Spin is currently. Possibly. We also got some concept art that kind of hints at it being at the front of the town entrance. So I think it'll be kind of where Triceratops Spin honestly lays now.
Well, honestly, on that too, I mean, they already, like, it's a circle. Like, they already have the exact plot of land they're going to need for a carousel. Like, Triceratops Spin has the circle where it's placed.
Mm-hmm. So, on the other side of the Tropical Americas area, we are going to get a Indiana Jones ride. Everybody say, woo! Honestly, I'm very sad that it's replacing Dinosaur, but I'm also really excited for the ride. I mean, they announced what it's going to be about. So it's going to be set in a Mayan temple with a mythical beast inhabiting it. So I bet it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, I'm a little, I don't know, I'm happy it's a completely unique ride, but I'm a little disappointed just because the one in Disneyland is so good, and I hope it lives up to the...
I'm sure it will.
I hope it does. Because if it's not at the quality of that ride, I don't know how I feel about it replacing Dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dinosaur's a really, really good ride, and what's that face? Saying Dinosaur's not a really, really good ride?
It's a good ride, it just needs some work.
Well, yeah, but they could have done work instead of replacing it. But if the Indiana Jones ride is on the same quality as the one in Disneyland, then, I mean, there's not much to be mad about.
Yeah.
I'm also curious what this mythical beast is going to be.
Same.
It's going to be weird that we're going to have two rides about venturing to go find a mythical beast in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. So moving away from the Tropical Americas and kind of moving to the front of the park again.
The Zootopia show, which will be replacing Tough to Be a Bug. It's called...
Thank God.
Yeah, we're very excited for this because it's replacing Tough to Be a Bug mostly. And it's called Zootopia Better Zoogether, which is a pretty bad name.
I have some feelings about this. I didn't like Tough to Be a Bug, but I love the name.
Yeah, I think
it was a great name. I don't know how I feel about Better Zoogether.
Honestly, if it was just Better Together, I think that would have been better.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Disney.
Yeah, and that's releasing in winter of 2025. Anyway, Hollywood Studios. We only got 2 announcements for Hollywood Studios. One of them is...
But they're big.
Well, one of them is very
One
big.
of them is big.
The other one is cool, but I don't know why.
I don't know why it was announced.
I also don't know why it was announced during the Fortnite part. That was a little weird. So, coming in 2026, which is the weirdest part of this to me, because why is it announced so far ahead?
Yeah.
Smuggler's Run will be receiving a Mandalorian and Grogu scene, which is really cool because that's what they do with Star Tours.
Yeah.
Also could be a sign of death for Star Tours, actually, now that I think about it.
Oh my God.
Because one unique aspect has been taken away.
If they take away Star Tours, I will stop going to the park.
No, you won't. You go.
I won't.
You don't even like Star Tours that much.
I love Star Tours.
I didn't know that.
What?
Anyway, but that is not the big announcement. The big announcement is...
I'll let Nick do this one because it's his personal favorite.
Yeah, so let's set the scene here. We're watching the show. We're getting a little antsy. I think this was just after they had the two guys come out and on stage and sing through like 5 different announcements.
Yes.
Which was also really weird.
I'm going to tell you what. This D23, it was fun. I liked all of the announcements because it was about us. But I will say, I'm not sure what Disney was cooking. Like, some of the things that they did.
But I will say one part where they cooked. And that is when they brought Billy Crystal on stage. And I slowly pieced together that it was Billy Crystal, the voice of Mike Wazowski. And I said to Kylie, no, don't get excited. It's going to be in France or something. And he goes, we're getting the first ever Monsters, Inc. world. And we go, and I said, no, doesn't matter. Not. And then he said, in Hollywood Studios. And
can you imagine?
Freaked out.
Sam, my best friend Sam, if you're watching this, we're getting Monsters, Inc.
And Monsters, Inc. is like probably becoming my favorite Pixar movie. I really like Monsters, Inc. It has such good like world building and the characters.
I thought it already was your favorite.
I still have some that like give it a fight.
Who?
I can't say it because people will judge me. But you know what?
Elemental?
I know. Elemental's up there. But no, I really like Onward.
Oh, yeah.
Onward has the same thing where I just really like the world they created.
It gives like very D&D vibes.
It does. I mean, they specifically mention D&D, kind of. Not D&D, but they call it something else.
That movie was like a fever dream.
That movie was great. Also, the ending of that movie is really sad.
Oh my god, I cried. But when do you not cry? When do I not cry?
Anyway, so inside Monsters, Inc., we will be getting our first ever suspended roller coaster for Walt Disney World. Or Disney in general.
Disney in general.
And it's going to be based off the door scene, which is incredible because that is what I've always wanted, is a roller coaster based off the door.
I know, he called it.
What is it? Door storage? Retrieval? I don't know what the right...
Door retrieval? Maybe. I don't know.
And also, they released a model of the ride.
Mm-hmm.
The ride is going to do the thing it does in the movie where the doors are like, or in this case, the ride vehicle is down and then it gets lifted up and then brought off, which is really cool.
I imagine it'll be kind of set up like Rise of the Resistance, how you get lifted up and also dropped.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll be kind of like that.
I think
on a roller coaster.
I think it'll be like you get lifted up and then at the end they just put you down. I don't know if they'll. A drop would be awesome. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they'd do that. And that's it for Hollywood Studios.
I still can't believe we're getting Monstropolis.
Yeah, I can't either.
Oh, we also got concept art. And in the concept art, there's like 2 areas of Monstropolis. So we're thinking that, I mean, obviously of the Monsters, Inc. building. And then you have the
Monsters
University building. So you can kind of see that in the corner of the concept art. And then also they have a like little shopping area. And we're hoping that Harryhausen's will also be featured because I love sushi and I hope that they open up a sushi
It was
restaurant.
also featured in the concept art.
Yeah.
A decent bit.
Front and right.
Also, if we're mentioning everything in the concept art, there also seems to be like some kind of kids play area or something. There's a little slide.
Yeah, like a Sully slide.
No. I was going to say...
No, it was dotted like...
Yeah, no, it was Sully slide. I was going to say, oh, maybe they're going to reuse stuff from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playground area.
I forgot about that.
I did too.
I never actually got to play in that. Like, I was at the front entrance of it, and I was about to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom was like, we gotta go, babe.
Yeah, it was cool.
Great, I'm glad that you got to.
The big bugs were kind of cool, but like also kind of terrifying.
There was big bugs?
No, there's big bugs.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Carly bleeped that out. All right.
Last and certainly most, Magic Kingdom.
Guys, I don't think you're ready for this. You need to strap in.
There was a
buckle
lot.
up. Buckle up, boys and girls.
There was a lot going on there.
So first, we're going to talk about a parade that is coming. And I have speculated for a little while that they are going to bring back the Electric Light Parade.
And you were wrong.
I was very wrong. They are not doing that, but they are bringing something called the Starlight Nighttime Parade, and it's going to be called Disney Starlight. So it is going to be featuring scenes from Encanto, Peter Pan, and Frozen. It's coming summer of 2025, and we also got some really cool concept art. And I am super, super excited about this, not only because it's Peter Pan, but also because I have some serious memories tied to Electric Light Parade. So I'm just very hopeful for it, and I'm very excited. Oh my gosh.
Next, we had the Pirates Lounge, which is coming in 2025.
We think that's where it's gonna be at Tortuga's Tavern, but we don't know.
Yeah, it could also be Pirates League, maybe.
Like where the old Pirates League area was.
And this was announced during the weird singing portion of the...
Yes.
Still don't understand why they did that.
I'm not sure either. But...
so we didn't really get much detail because there wasn't someone exactly talking about it.
And also the live stream cut out.
Yeah, that's true.
Whenever we were watching it.
But it seems cool, and if it's a lounge, I imagine there's going to be alcohol, which I think means Magic Kingdom is fully not...
Magic Kingdom is no longer going to be a dry park.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it stopped being a dry park a while ago with Be Our Guest serving wine.
This is true.
But it's still interesting, and I think the reason they're doing this is because one of the later things that we're going to talk about is probably going to have cocktails and stuff at it.
I hope so. If we're both thinking about the same thing.
Oh, we are. So next up is going to be a new addition to Frontierland.
Yep. And it's not beyond Thunder Mountain.
Which is an important distinction that we wish we understood while we were watching this live stream and didn't accept defeat immediately.
Yes.
And collapse. So it'll be located where Tom Sawyer Island and Rivers of America are currently.
It's going to feature 2 new rides. One kind of like the one in Disney's California Adventure, and one that is a little bit more family focused. Guys, guess what's coming to Magic Kingdom? Cars Land.
I called it, baby. I called it on accident. I called it as a joke, but I still called it. It still counts.
So we are getting Cars Land, but it's not going to be Radiator Springs,
which is weird
style. Right? Yeah.
Like, I thought the entire reason they could even do that, the reason I made that joke, is because it looks like Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
So I think it's weird, but also it's based on the Rocky Mountains, so I bet it's going to be a beautiful area.
I bet it's going to be really, really pretty. So this one, again, like Nick said, it's not going to be Radiator Springs themed. It's going to be Rocky Mountains, Frontierland themed. Yeah. So I think it'll be very, very pretty. It looks like we're going to get some all-wheel drive.
Yeah, so the cars in the thing are going to be based around all-terrain vehicles because the track is going to look like a dirt road.
Yep.
Which is really cool.
It honestly looks like you're going mudding through the mountains.
And there's going to be parts of the ride where you splash through puddles and the water's going to get on you. And like one part of the concept art, if you zoom in and like look at it fully, there's like ice, like an ice area. Like snowy, which is kind of cool.
Well, Rocky Mountains are a little snowy too.
Yeah, but it's just cool that like it's gonna have varied areas in it. This new version of Test Track's really gonna have to step its game up. Because we're gonna have a much better ride in Magic Kingdom.
And they also announced that construction will start in 2025 for this Cars Land as well.
So about this is gonna suck while it gets constructed.
Yes.
Because it is going to feel so compact walking through Liberty Square, which that's sad. I mean, but also, to be fair, Liberty Square already feels super compact. And when this opens up, that's going to give people more room to walk.
Thank God.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn. I'm a little sad to be losing the boat and losing the lake.
I never rode it anyway, so...
But it's just a nice piece of...
It is. I really do enjoy the the river. But I think it's boated its course.
Yeah, I think it's for the best. And also, I think we're going to have a lot more room to walk, and
I'm so excited.
That's so nice.
Yeah. Also, we're getting Cars Land.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're getting Cars Land.
We're getting a Cars Land.
We're getting Cars Land.
It's still not...
We're getting Rocky Mountain Cars Land.
I really hope they do it justice, because...
Me too.
Cars Land... I hate cars. Cars is by far my least favorite
Oh
Pixar
my God.
movies. Like, if I ranked my...
Sam would be so mad at you for saying that.
I'm sorry, it's true. If I ranked my Pixar movies, all 3 Cars movies would be at the bottom. 3-1-2 is my ranking of how much I like them. I like...
Sam, are you excited yet? Because first you had Monsters, Inc., now you have Cars Land.
I thought these announcements were made for me, but maybe it was just made for Sam.
It's made for Sam.
But no,
And also another thing, but we'll get to that.
But yeah, saying that, I don't like those movies at all. However,
why?
They're boring.
I like the first one. I don't necessarily like the other ones.
I think the second one actually might be my favorite, even though I say it's my least favorite.
Oh my God, what?
It's objectively the worst movie.
What logic is that?
It's objectively the worst movie, but it's kind of fun, and the other 2 are not fun at all.
I just like Tomater eating the wasabi.
It's you.
Stop.
Anyway, the point of what I was saying there is, despite not liking those movies at all, Cars Land and Disney California Adventure is incredible.
Yes, I've never been, so I can't say anything to that, but...
Especially at night, because it's got a lot of like neons and stuff.
Oh my gosh, pretty. I do love the part in the park where at sunset or whatever, they start playing the Life Could Be a Dream, and the neon lights turn on. Have you never seen that?
I've never seen that, no.
Oh my gosh. I have to show that to you because it's so freaking cute.
Also, we're losing Tom Sawyer Island.
I know.
That's sad.
I'm sad.
I have a lot
What about the caves for the bear? The bear that was in Magic Kingdom?
Oh, that's what you're referring to.
The bear's losing its home.
I like the idea that Disney just relocated him into the cave.
Yeah.
We got a new attraction for you guys. How would you like to be in a cave with a wild bear?
A live bear.
And it's closing in on your location. It's 5 away. 5 what? 4, 3, 2,
1. Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Anyway. So you're really going to need to buckle in for this one.
Let's give some context here.
Yeah, I think we should give some context.
So Cars Land gets announced.
Yes.
And Kylie looks at me and she just goes,
yeah.
She wanted so bad to be excited about Cars Land.
I'm very excited about Cars Land now.
However,
at the time,
it was deflating.
Very, very defeated.
Because we thought, okay, this is Beyond Thunder Mountain. This is what came from that original concept that they showed that was so cool.
The blue sky.
Which, I mean, Cars Land was cool, but it didn't feel like what Disney needed right now. It feels like, and like in retrospect, yeah, I 100% understand this. It makes sense. It is probably part of what Disney needs. However, we wanted Villain Land. We talked about this very extensively in episode 1. So that was a little defeating. And then the Fortnite-ing happened, where they talked about Fortnite for 10 minutes.
Which is why I just don't... I get it now. I understand why they did it and set it up now, and I think that's why everything else was so wonky, is so it wouldn't look weird that everything was being hopped around.
Yeah.
So after the Cars Land was announced, they did all of the Fortnite announcements, and
then
through that
cruise stuff.
Yep, then they did the cruise stuff, and I eventually walked out of the room to go grab a snack or something because I just needed a second to deflate and just...
And then they started talking about Avengers Campus stuff, and we went, oh no, this is the sprinkle on the end.
Yeah.
Is Avengers Campus stuff, which is exciting for other people.
Yes.
And it's exciting for us because one day we'll see it.
Yep.
But in the moment, it just felt deflating.
Every news after Cars Land was just a little sad.
And then Deadpool was on stage. He was being funny. But
I was trying to smile through that.
Yeah, like, he was being funny, but at the same time, it was like, is this the end? Because if it's the end, this is a horrible way to end this.
Yeah.
And then they announced Robert Downey Jr. was returning as Iron Man for the ride, and we really were like, okay, yeah, that's That's the end.
That's the end.
That's their final announcement. And then DeMario, what's his name?
Josh DeMario.
Josh DeMario walks on stage, and he's like, "All right, guys, that was a great D23."
Yep.
And we were like, "Yep, that's about right."
Yep.
And then he's interrupted. And green smoke fills the screen.
Purple lights are being shot out into the audience.
And the magic mirror
appears on shows screen. Up on the front screen.
And it's very hard to hear at this moment because everyone in the audience is losing their mind.
Yep.
But you hear something along the lines of, "You made a promise, Mr. DeMario.
You made a promise. You made a promise.
Last year. A place where villains can roam free," or something along those lines. And then...
Which also leads me to believe that there will be villains just hanging out in the land. Hopefully.
Then they play Trust in Me in its entirety.
Also, can we talk about why Trust in Me?
Yeah.
Couldn't it have been Be Prepared? Or Are You Ready?
Yeah, I think Be Prepared or Friends on the Other Side would have been more exciting.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing about that song choice. Trust in Me is such a slow song, and it's such a pace breaker for such a huge announcement.
They were trying to get you to be like,
I know.
Oh my God.
But Friends on the Other Side would have been like hype. Like that would have been like, "Are you ready?
Are you ready? Transformation Central."
Yeah, and then they could have shown the picture.
So guess what?
I feel like we've
towed the line.
Yeah.
And it's been very clear. Villains Land is coming to Magic Kingdom.
We're so excited.
I'm so excited.
We were talking about it, and we were like, "God, thank God, we can be happy about Cars Land now."
Yes.
So we got concept art, and it looks incredible.
And I cried.
Yeah, Kylie cried. She sobbed.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna give a little backstory on that. I was so freaking devastated about Cars Land. So whenever Villains Land was announced, I was so excited.
She was getting the excitement of two different announcements at once.
I was relieved. I was so excited. Oh my God. So, obviously, we hinted at it earlier, but this one, Villains Land, is going to be the expansion beyond Thunder Mountain. So it's not going to be, there's been a speculation that it's going to be behind Haunted Mansion. It's not. It's going to be behind Big Thunder Mountain, which I'm excited for. It's going to feature 2 major attractions, dining and shopping as well.
It's going to be the whole Mamma Jamma.
It is going to be the whole Mamma Jamma.
I'm expecting Villain Land to be scope and size about how big Galaxy's Edge is.
Same. I think it's going to be...
maybe even bigger.
I think even a little bit bigger. In the concept art... Oh my God, you guys, you need to go see the concept art. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It looks like there is going to be a humongous roller coaster.
Yeah.
You can see Maleficent in her dragon form over in the side. I think it's like the left corner. Yeah.
You can see her castle.
Yep, her castle. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. There's like 2 other castles too that you can kind of see if you like zoom in. Oh.
And her roller coaster it seems to be like the thorn bushes from Sleeping Beauty.
And the Forbidden Mountain is where her castle lies too.
Yeah.
So, and we were looking at pictures yesterday.
And it's a direct 1-to-1.
It is a 1-to-1 scale.
I'm curious if they're going to do like, maybe the castle is the entrance to her roller coaster.
I would think so.
Or like the mountain underneath it. Obviously, you're not going to go in that castle because it's so high up. But
and they're going to use like force perspective.
Yeah.
But
like maybe you go underneath.
Maybe not. I don't know.
You head into the thorns and then you get to where the roller coaster boards. I don't know the whole thing with the thorns. We talked about this. I'm pretty sure I've never watched Sleeping Beauty, so
yeah, we need to watch that.
But no, that was an incredible way to end it. I think they did the announcement very, very well too.
Yes, I like how they did it now.
Yeah.
I did not like how they did it.
In retrospect.
Whenever we were going through it.
I still don't like that they did the song, though. The song was weird.
I don't agree with the song.
They did that, like, for everything. Like, they did a song after almost every announcement. And
this D23 was so long.
Yeah.
So long. Which, I mean, I understand now. I don't really care now. But
we kind of lost it there.
Oh my god. I still cannot believe.
I was telling Kylie after I had to rewatch the announcement because I couldn't fully focus on it because she was like sobbing next to me.
And screaming. I was screaming a little bit.
You were screaming a little bit.
Oh my god. And also, I'm just going to throw this out there. Construction will start in 2025 for that one.
Well, they said starting soon. They never said actually when. Technically, I think they said something along the lines of we've already broken some ground.
Oh, yeah. I think the main idea of this D23 was that there was going to be no blue sky concepts.
Yeah.
Obviously, blue sky concepts are great, but they are not promises.
Yeah.
And you made a promise, Josh, tomorrow.
That was such a great line.
That was amazing.
Having the magic mirror go, you made a promise.
If you have the chance to go look at the live stream, or look at the videos that was captured,
or at least the Villain Land portion.
Yeah, just the Villain Land portion. I think it was really done, like, very well. So,
I thought that the Monstropolis was going to be the big announcement because of how well they did the announcement of it.
Yeah,
like having Billy Crystal come on stage, and most people,
that was so cool.
Most people aren't going to know who Billy Crystal is until he opens his mouth too.
Yeah.
So you can see it in the thing, but he covers one of his eyes as he's walking out, which was, I kind of thought it was him, and then he did that. I was like, oh, that's Mike Wazowski.
Yeah. Nick was like a little kid in a candy store.
I was very excited. And then Villain Land, I was also very excited. And then Cars Land, I really, really wanted to be excited.
Who do you think was more excited for Villain Land?
Probably you. You were crying.
This is true. Oh my god. That was crazy. I still can't believe it. Guys, we're getting Villain's Land.
Also, by the way, unrelated, but if we're talking about how good some announcements were done, Cars Land was done horribly. That was part of why it was so deflating.
Yeah.
Having the mater on the big screen talking about it and stuff, like, just kind of felt like, eh.
Also, and then they started singing after, and I checked out.
Just keep in mind, every single thing we've said, there was a song afterwards.
Yep.
And the only one that felt justified was Monsters, Inc. because it was sung by Billy Crystal, and he was doing it to the tune of, I can't think of the name of the song. The one that he does in the credits for Monsters, Inc. as a duet with John Goodman.
You wouldn't have nothing if you didn't have...
If I didn't have you. That's what it's called.
I wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have you.
But yeah, no. Incredible D23. Especially for Disney World fans. I imagine if you're a Tokyo fan, probably not your favorite D23.
Yeah. So sorry, Tokyo.
But
sorry, Tokyo.
It's okay. We needed
sorry,
this.
Not sorry. You got Rapunzel.
Yeah, didn't Tokyo just get Rapunzel and Frozen? They're fine. They're fine. And Tinkerbell, I think.
Okay. I demand justice.
It's never going to happen.
Yes, it's going to. I mean, we never thought Villain Land was going to happen.
I thought Villain Land was going to happen.
Well, we wanted it to happen.
Yeah, I wanted it. But I thought it was going to be a fifth park.
Yeah.
I hope Villain Land is so successful that they decide to expand it. That would be awesome.
Oh my god. Expansion beyond expansion.
Beyond Villain Land.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's gonna
happen when we're like 80.
Oh, I'm so excited.
But yeah, overall, incredible show. We're so back, baby.
We're so back.
We're out of the It's So Over era. We're in the It's So Back era. I think we got to see. I'm curious when everything will be open. A lot of people are projecting everything announced will be done by 2029. We only have one announcement for 2027. So they could just say Cars Land's also 2027 and then do Villain Land 2028.
I think everything will finally be done by 2028, like late 2028 or early 2029.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I'm curious how long it's going to take. I imagine the big beast for building Cars Land is going to be filling in that lake.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's the hardest part.
I bet they've already started.
Maybe when I go there tomorrow, the boat will just be like a little bit lower. the water's slowly getting drained.
What?
Well, they have to
You know
drain the lake.
You know
before
that
they
boat
fill
is
it.
on a track, right?
Does make sense.
They
So
just-
the boat won't be lower.
No.
The boat is just sitting on the track, but there's no water.
I bet they've already taken Liberty Bell out.
The Liberty Bell? They're not taking out the Liberty Bell.
The name of the boat?
Oh. I thought you were talking about the Liberty Bell, like the actual
No.
bell.
No.
I was like, why would they take that out? That's a completely different area.
No.
The boat is probably still there. I feel like we would have read
Probably.
something if the boat
Yeah.
was already gone.
Somebody would be all over it.
People have been so mad. People have been angry about everything.
Why?
Because they're like, why are you getting rid of Tom Sawyer Island and the lake and
Oh
stuff? And
my
it's like,
God.
do you go to Tom Sawyer Island? Someone posted something that was really funny where it was like the Disney adults complaining about Tom Sawyer Island going to Tom Sawyer Island for the first time so they can complain about it or something like that.
That was me. Graduation year. I had never been to Tom Sawyer Island.
It's I have a lot of memories attached to it, but like
It's alright. It's not. It's a one and done.
Cars Land's gonna be more interesting.
Fucking Cars Land.
And then I'm curious if Thunder Mountain's gonna have to close for Beyond Thunder Mountain.
Probably not.
I don't see why it would have to, but if it does, if it doesn't, that might be your best chance to look at it.
Well, that I was just about to say, it was like, I think there's going to be a peak in attendance.
Yeah.
Not attendance, but ride. Is it ride attendance?
I'll look on Tiana's today and tell you if I can see past Thunder Mountain while I'm going down the drop or anything.
You can't.
I'll get some intel.
No,
Let me get
go,
some intel.
Just go on Big Thunder. So, we'll tell you now.
They need a Dumbo over there.
I'm
Dude,
giving
you
Nick
look at
a
me-
very incredulous look.
You look at me. First thing I say, we need another Dumbo.
No.
We don't have enough in Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom
No.
needs another one. I hope Cars Land's second attraction is a Dumbo. It's planes.
No.
So yeah, in total,
So, we got a lot of things happening.
we have a lot of content to discuss now.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure we might want to do a full episode talking about Villain Land at some point.
Yeah. Predictions, speculations. Maybe if some more concept art comes out.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
hold out for some more concept art before we do that.
Yeah.
Maybe next year, after next D23.
Oh my god. I can't even begin to think about the next D23. But anyway.
The next few D23s are going to be a little disappointing,
Yeah.
probably.
Well, yeah. It's fine.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening.
Yes, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for getting excited with us. So if you want to find us on our social medias, in our Instagram, live on Main Street USA, in the bio there is a Linktree link that links all of our profiles together. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Apple Podcast, on Spotify Podcast. Oh, also,
Before we sign off.
follow, subscribe, rate, and comment, and we'll try to comment back too.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.